Mr. Speaker, I rise today to bring attention to the real human impacts that the drought has had on families throughout California's San Joaquin Valley. This drought lasting 6 years. Tomorrow, the House will have an opportunity to vote on legislation that will help address the impacts of the drought and begin to repair a broken water system that we have in California today. I hope more than anything that we can get the legislation across the finish line, but it seems that some of my colleagues in the House and the Senate remain unconvinced that a solution is necessary. I tell you, a solution is necessary, and we are working on borrowed time. I'd like to take the opportunity to dispel that misconception. The picture next to me here is Mr. and Mrs. Cabral from Madera, California. I represent these constituencies. As you'll notice, they look happy. The reason they look happy is because when I had the pleasure of meeting with them, and that day found out that they had received a federal resource grant to dig a new well in their backyard. 2 years prior to that day, they were completely dry. For my colleagues who do not represent the rural constituencies across this country or in California, that means for 2 years, the Cabral family could not turn their faucet on to get water to bathe or to cook. Instead, they went outside to haul buckets of water into their house. A 2,500-gallon tank that was in their backyard is where they got the water from. Some families are even less fortunate and have had to have water trucked into their neighborhoods. Also, picture with me is next to them is Juana Garcia. I'll put that down there. Juana lives in Porterville. She was featured in the Fresno Bee in a story last year. Her family and 700 households in Porterville have no water. This photo illustrates the delivery of non-potable water to Mrs. Garcia and her family. Ms. Garcia and her family walk to the local church several times a week so they can take a shower. The Cabral and Garcia families represent the faces of thousands of families throughout the valley who don't have water and don't have a long-term plan to have their water. They have been impacted. The farmers and the farm workers and the farm communities throughout the San Joaquin Valley have been impacted as well. Without water, hundreds and thousands of acres of productive ag land have gone fallow. That means they're not planted. And without planting, that means no jobs, no water. Unemployment in many of these valley farming communities in the double digits at an all-time high. While California Drought Relief Bill will not resolve every single challenge we face in the valley and in California's broken water system, it will provide some relief to help these suffering families. So to my colleagues in California and elsewhere who think that the language in the water bill is a poison pill, I say it is not. This is important to help solve the problems of the people in this valley. Ensure that more valley families do not become the victims of polluted water and dry wells. This is not a poison pill. You should not look at it that way. It is wrong. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues in the House and the Senate to support this legislation, to act swiftly, not only on the behalf of the people of the San Joaquin Valley, but Flint, Michigan, and the others who will benefit in a very important water bill that will be before us tomorrow. Time is of the essence. The drought-stricken communities in California, especially in the San Joaquin Valley, and others who are impacted by much important needed efforts that Senator Feinstein and others have put together as a part of the water bill, a bipartisan water bill that Congressman McCarthy has worked on, should be passed tomorrow and do the right thing before Christmas. I thank you.